Appreciate you clicking on this video, my movie peeps. I've got some really odd and random stories I've collected. Not gonna lie, hasn't been an exciting week, but I gathered these up because I just wanted to make some content, man. So some of the stories we're going to be talking about here today, guys, is looking at the Sonic 3 marketing and just how weird it has been. We finally got the answers to why every studio in Hollywood is rejecting Rush Hour 4. Chick-fil-A coming out with their own streaming service. What? Oh, we're going to be diving into that along with so much more. So you guys leave me your opinions down below with everything we discuss here today. Also, just wondering, how many of you out there even care about the Crow movie? I got my tickets to see it tonight, but I don't feel like anyone's talking about this Crow movie. I'm gonna go in hoping it's good, but I don't know. But jumping into the first movie news story here today, we had a trailer released for a movie that I think actually looks pretty fun. It's a movie called Y2K, and it'll be starring Rachel Zegler, Jaden Martell, and Julian Dennison, where it's a horror comedy playing into what a lot of people thought was gonna happen when we went from the year 1999 to the year 2000. That for some reason, all technology would crash and crumble, and we'd start living in a post-apocalyptic era. Well, in case you didn't know, that didn't happen. Just like the year 2012 wasn't the end of the world. You guys remember that? But in this movie, it looks like it will be the end of the world, and we have a lot of 90s technology that'll all like Transformers up together and try to kill you. Honestly, this looks like a fun, good time. It's not taking itself too seriously, but at the same time, you are gonna get some bloody sequences. This is a movie that also premiered at South by Southwest earlier in the year, and a lot of those reviews were very glowing, saying that the movie's a blast and very entertaining. So I don't know, I think we're starting to lean into that era where 90s is becoming the new 80s, and we're just nostalgic to see movies with 90s aesthetics. So a horror comedy with that kind of 90s Tamagotchi technology trying to kill you, I'm gonna watch it. I'm down for this. And well, jumping into what the heck is the world coming to news, we had an article released that Chick-fil-A is actually going to be launching their own streaming service. I'm not kidding. I saw that article floating around all day yesterday, and I just thought, oh, this must be a meme. This must be a joke. No way, it's serious. I finally looked into it, and oh my God, it's real. In the article, they say here, Chick-fil-A, yes, that Chick-fil-A is looking to launch a streaming platform. The fast food chain has been working with Hollywood production companies and studios to create family-friendly, mostly unscripted original shows. The Chicken House is also in talks to license and acquire content, according to a source that's pitched a project. Why? Why is this what we're doing? Has there not been enough horror stories that streaming services are actually extremely unprofitable? I think a lot of studios are learning that. I know when the boom happened, Disney decided to jump into the game, and then we had, Paramount Plus, Peacock, Max, and all these other people coming out, and now they're starting to realize this is like really hard to make money out of unless you just got them Netflix or Disney Plus subscribers, or you actually are just racking in the cash non-stop. But to now have a fast food chain launch their own streaming service, like this is something you would see pop up in like a random comedy. Oh, Taco Bell streaming service? How funny. This is our reality now. I can't imagine there actually being a show on the Chick-fil-A streaming service or movie that I would genuinely be dying for. People have already busted out their jokes like, was the streaming service gonna shut down its servers every Sunday? You can't watch the Chick-fil-A show on Sundays? That would actually be hilarious. I actually hope they do that. But also, Chick-fil-A is a very Christian company. These licensed shows and movies, they're gonna be hitting up Angel Studios, the studio that makes all those religious movies that your grandma ends up going to because her church talked about it. That's what they're essentially gonna end up playing on this network. So I can only honestly see this going terribly wrong, or just something that exists in the very deep ether of streaming services. I'm surprised McDonald's isn't the one that did it first, but Chick-fil-A gonna have a streaming service. Do you see this at all as a good idea, as a good thing to do, and who's the next company to do it? Jumping on here to something that actually got me kind of excited that I've been following sneakily in the background but didn't think it'd be this huge is the Anaconda reboot. I don't know how many of you guys remember the Anaconda movie that starred Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube, but that's kind of like a guilty pleasure horror movie from my youth where it's just a bunch of people that go into the Amazon looking for this anaconda, and well, they end up finding it, and it's just a dumb good time of a movie. Probably is aged super poorly, but I remember just enjoying that thing as a kid just because because giant snakes is terrifying. And well, over the past months, we had heard they're trying to make a reboot. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, rebooting this old movie, it'll probably be lousy, dumb, but I'll check it out. And now with the stars attached, they're going big with this movie. So we have here the Hollywood Reporter letting us know that Jack Black and Paul Rudd circling reimagining of horror movie Anaconda. Jack Black and Paul Rudd attached to the Anaconda reboot? Did not see that coming. Those, I think, are pretty huge stars to be the reboot of what was a lousy, fun 1990s movie. But what's even weirder than this casting choice is the plot for this reboot. So here it goes. It says, according to the sources, the new story involves a group of friends facing midlife crisis who are remaking their favorite movie from their youth. They head to the rainforest only to find themselves in a fight for their lives against natural disasters, giant snakes, and violent criminals. And I, again, did not expect that to be the plot for the Anaconda reboot, going into a meta route where the Anaconda movie exists within this universe and now two guys want to go and remake it. And they meet an anaconda. Looks like they're going for the comedy horror route, which could be a lot of fun. I do like these two actors. I know Jack Black's been under a lot of heat, understandably so, but I think this could be fun. Throw it off to you guys. The Anaconda reboot. You like these casting choice? The plot of this? Good? No? Yes? Maybe? Bringing us here now to talk about Rush Hour 4. Now, it actually wasn't that long ago that Chris Tucker himself let us know that, yeah, we are working on Rush Hour 4 and that we are very close to getting it done. And although that's something that gets said every couple of years, I swear, it feels like every other year I hear, Rush Hour 4, it's happening, it's coming, it's almost here. It always ends up being something that doesn't happen, and we never know why, but now we actually have our answers. And it looks like Rush Hour 4 maybe is never happening. So thanks to the Hollywood Reporter, they published an article titled, Will a Rush Hour sequel resurrect Brett Ratner? And essentially what they let us know in this article is that Brett Ratner, the original director of Rush Hour, is the name attached for the fourth movie. The people who own the rights to Rush Hour and want to make this movie are pitching the film with Brett Ratner to direct it, and that's the biggest problem because Brett Ratner was accused of sexual misconduct back in 2017, and even though he denies those allegations, that misconduct has stopped his filmmaking career to where he hasn't made a movie since. And so when they went to Warner Brothers to make Rush Hour 4, Warner Brothers, the crazy company that it's been lately, even Warner Brothers said, no, we don't want it. Go take it to somebody else. And the article does note that they have pitched Rush Hour 4 to Paramount and to Sony, and both of those studios said, no, thank you. Giving us now a definitive reason for why Rush Hour 4 has maybe been taking so long to get off the ground is because no studio wants to touch it as long as Brett Ratner's name is attached. So man, it sucks. Like I definitely want Rush Hour 4 to happen, not under these circumstances, but even then, will it be good? Is it too late for Rush Hour 4 to happen? Is it something we just kind of have to forget about? That's definitely a very good question to ask because, you know, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, they're older. And although I think Chris Tucker is still super hilarious, like I enjoyed seeing him in the little scenes he had in the movie Air, one of the other parts I love about Rush Hour is all the fight choreography. And Jackie Chan is getting up there in age. And although I bet he can pull off some of those scenes, how good will it actually realistically look? And will it just be one of those sad movies where we see our old favorite heroes just be old and sad on screen? And that's not really fun for everybody, right? So I don't know. I kind of would still love Rush Hour 4 to happen. I'm hoping they get a different director and something can come about it. But now we definitively know why Rush Hour 4 has been taking forever to get off the ground. What are your guys' opinion on this situation? Bringing us now to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh boy almighty, where do we even begin? Sonic fans are beginning to get worried. An article was even made recently saying, has Sonic 3 been delayed? Fans slam terrible marketing and demand trailer. It's honestly no surprise that there has been a big push in the Sonic fan community about what is going on with Sonic 3 and how mysterious the project has been up until this point. If you actually look at the release calendar for the movies being released this December, every major movie has now gotten a trailer out except Sonic 3. And even the little bit of marketing that we have gotten from Sonic 3 is just repurposed stuff from Sonic 2. We currently had Gamescom going on this week, and while a lot of people thought that's where they would release the trailer for Sonic 3, they didn't, but they did have some stuff promoting the movie on the floor, and all the promotional material was all recycled stuff from Sonic 2. I mean, even just looking at this standee that they put there, although the Sonic 3 logo is there, those stills and images are renders and positions that were originally marketed for Sonic 2. I mean, it makes it look like Knuckles and Robotnik are the villains of this movie again when they are not. We know it is Shadow the Hedgehog, and honestly, the closest thing we have of some sort of new teaser is just this little promo of the characters eating popcorn on a couch, which really doesn't show much. So it is really bringing up the question to a lot of people, is this movie getting delayed? Are they pushing it back to a different time? I don't think we're getting that crazy. I am still certain that the reason they just haven't is because Paramount is locked in on really marketing Transformers 1, and until we get to the week of that movie, that is when we will begin to see the marketing for Sonic 3. I know there was a report going around that we would get the third Sonic trailer during the month of August, and we're about almost a week and a half away from August ending, and it doesn't look like it's coming any sooner. So while I do agree, the marketing so far for Sonic 3 has been terrible because we've been getting toys and reused promotional material from Sonic 2, I don't think it is time to panic yet. The time to panic is if we don't get any trailer for the release of Transformers 1, then that's when I would really start worrying. But as of right now, I'm just saying, wait till the week of Transformers 1. I'm thinking that's when you get your trailer, and then it's going to be non-stop crazy Sonic marketing. But that is all the interesting movie news I saw currently going around. I know there's been other little weird stories, but nothing really that huge. Be on the lookout for the review of The Crow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.